What is going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, I want to continue off of where I left earlier today. I posted a video about 6 hours ago. It's doing really well, but I wanted to continue off that, and I posted a comment that I pinned to the top in regards to a couple of things. You can see right here I posted, let's see as it loads up, PSA, public service announcement. I'll be posting another video later today, as I'm sure most of you will have questions on the trade I opened on DueDEX. My position shown in the video was closed, and my new one that is currently set is an entry price of $7,500, leveraged 5 times, the same amount, yada yada yada. So I want to continue discussing that, as well as the major dip that we just saw within Bitcoin. I want to continue off of that, pretty much give you guys my updated stuff. Also in regards to the position that I made on DueDEX, and in regards to where we could be potentially going. Otherwise, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up. Like I said, remember, we're doing this giveaway tomorrow for a free $25 of Bitcoin. All you have to do is comment hashtag CryptoTV down below and subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, let's jump into today's episode. So, where do I begin? Obviously, the video I made this morning was in regards to the bull flag being completed here on Bitcoin. I showed you guys the comparison of the bull flag to Bitcoin's price currently right now, and then I compared it to where XRP is, as we know, and if we base this off the current coin market cap, you can clearly see the comparison and the correlation between Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. They're all seemingly together. We're also seeing Litecoin and the rest of the altcoins kind of sync in with that, but for the most part, in the past, we've been seeing a lot of these top 10 cryptocurrencies pretty much in sync. Now, I wanted to pay your attention and pay focus onto what exactly is happening right now within the market, because I do think we need to continue off of this in regards to where we could be potentially investing into. I don't even really know where to start. I guess we can start. I'm going to start discussing exactly what's going on within Bitcoin, and then discuss the trade I made on DueDEX, kind of fill you in on that, because I know a lot of my people on Patreon had questions about that. So obviously you can see we just broke bearish slightly, a little bit more than where we were before. You can see we immediately fell down, and it was very interesting, and the story on DueDEX gets quite interesting too, and I can't wait to discuss that with you, because it obviously is going to help you guys as well. But you can see we broke bearish and we fell lower, and we actually touched about 73.94 and then immediately retraced back upwards. You know, we're now below the resistance support that we have right here. You'll notice that pretty much broke us back into what appears to be a massive symmetrical triangle. You can see the massive symmetrical triangle here, but you'll notice not only do we have that drawn on, it also opens the path for a massive descending triangle. You can see the purple on purple. This one pretty much cuts the middle, and you can see the downtrend starts here. And it was very interesting to see that we managed to break above that back in October, and we actually trended above that before breaking down to lower levels. So what I think is the most interesting, and why I think this is the bottom and we're about to make quite a bit of money, is for a couple of reasons. And this is in regards to looking at all the cryptocurrencies, all the coins, Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP, in regards to they're probably all a really good buying opportunity right now. A lot of you guys on the comments have been discussing some pretty negative things. You know, we'll just go through them. I just want to share with you guys, and maybe you guys will be right, maybe you're not, but you can see, I mean, we have a lot of good talk. We have a couple people in regards to talking negative, things like that. But for the most part, we do have we have a lot of good comments. There are a couple that are bearish, not really sure why, as I feel like this is explained right now that we do look quite well. Otherwise, I'm going to be addressing those comments in the fact that I do think we bottomed out. And now we're going to probably and most definitely start to see this retracement to the higher level. And I want to kind of explain why. So notice back in the past where we've seen breakouts. We've seen a breakout here. And this was in regards to us testing a critical support at $7,600. Move along even back in June of 2019. You'll notice we also had a double bottom on the $7,600 level, and we exploded up, which in a massive amount. This is about, let's see, a 81% gain, which is absolutely phenomenal. And I do have some important information to share with you guys. But also notice in the past here, we managed to shoot up. So every time we act, this is a massive support. Now, we're not only are we oversold on the 4-hour, which you can see is right here, we're extremely oversold. You'll also notice on the daily, we're testing oversold. So I don't think we have any more potential to head lower. The lowest we could at most go would maybe be around $6,700, but I think that is practically not going to happen. I think that the likelihood of that happening is slim to none. I'd say maybe there's a 5% chance of that happening. 95% of the time, I believe that this is going to be breaking bullish at quite a significant volume and quite a significant level. The more bearish comments I'm seeing in the comment section of my videos, the more I have faith that we're probably going to be breaking upwards. So not only do I think this is the bottom, and we called the bottom because we're looking oversold on the 4-hour, we're looking oversold on the daily, we're hitting an extremely strong support, but when you focus in on Litecoin, you'll notice Litecoin is hitting a support. So yes, we're in a massive descending fractal, but you'll notice there is a big support right here where we've double bottomed in the past. This looks to be a double bottom. You can see previous resistance here, previous support. This is a very, 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 very strong line that we're currently retesting. So there's a good chance we're going to see this consolidation right now, being that we're about to hit oversold on Litecoin's daily as well. There's a chance it's probably just going to fickle and trade like this, and then we could be seeing a pop to the upside after. But for Ethereum, you'll notice what's happening that I've been calling within Ethereum is that we're trending in between a channel of a support at currently 158 and a resistance at 200. So we've pretty much just been trending inside of here for the longest time. You know, there's really not much that I even need to talk about. I don't know why that looks like that. Let's see. Finally, now it loads in. You can see for the most part, we've been in this channel since all the way back in August of 2019. And you can see for the most part, we've just been trending inside of here. So it made sense that we were going to break down to this level, hit a support, and then most definitely trend all the way back up. So with that being said, for those of you who did buy into Ethereum, expect to see gains of like 25% fairly soon if you bought in at the bottom here. But it makes sense. You can clearly see this is a very strong support and that it would hold. Now, obviously, this was a great short position. This was from 175 to 160 would have been a great short position. But honestly, if you miss that run, I don't think it really matters because the run back upwards to the top is going to be where a lot of the profit is. You can see on XRP as well, hitting a bunch of support and resistances at this price level. Now this, I believe, is pretty much all-time lows. I don't think the coin has dropped below that, so that's why it's becoming quite difficult to graph XRP by itself. You can see the support though. I mean, it's a very small one at best, but you can see it's right here, right where we're having this problem zone right here where that was acting as a resistance. We're currently bouncing off that. But for the most part, it's following Bitcoin and it's following Ethereum. So I wouldn't worry too much with XRP. If you have planning on buying into XRP, here's the chance. No, I'm no financial advisor, but that's the chance. Also, huge shout out to everybody supporting me on Patreon. Just today alone, we've had tons of people sign up. I highly recommend you do. It's a great way to get access to all my charts, as well as a ton of people have been leaving great comments on Patreon as well. So I highly recommend you get that. It's a way to get exclusive, access to videos like this before they actually come up, and news before they actually go live on YouTube. So highly recommend you check out Patreon. It's the second link in the description, and it's a great community as well. But you can see we've pretty much bottomed off. For those of the people who think we're going to head lower, I'm going to pretty much disagree because I do think we're going to head up. So now I wanted to get into the discussion as to what's going on within DueDEX. I know DueDEX is definitely something that I've been addressing, and I want to discuss with you guys as to what happened and what's going to happen. So I made a trade earlier in this morning's video, and some interesting stuff was going to happen. And I read the comments. As you guys know, I wanted to leverage trade it about 25 times. Which I didn't think was a problem. But then I got hit with this note right here from DueDEX. You can see, dear valued user, your following position has been pretty much automatically liquidated. You can see I bought it at 7,875. So the entry price was 7,875. The second I bought it, literally like 2 seconds after, we immediately dropped, and then it fell to 7,600, and it auto sold it, which is unfortunate. Now, my goal and my agenda was I knew we were going to fall. I knew we were going to retrace lower, but I felt like it was only going to be such a small amount, from 7,800 to 76 and then all the way back up to $13,000. There's a ton of profit in that. But what I learned is that DueDEX auto liquidated it for me. So for those of you who are trying to leverage with a ton, 25, 50, 100 times, be aware that the percentage gain for just a small move downwards from, if you 100 times this and you went from 7,875 to 7,800, 7,800. A $75 drop in Bitcoin could auto leverage and close the account, which is something I didn't realize at the time. So be aware that that is still, that does happen. And when you make these big trades, be aware that that's something that can auto close. So I had about 750 or 780 invested, and it allowed me to, or it shorted like $80 for my account, which makes sense. It's kind of dumb because I didn't purposely sell it. I wasn't going to sell at a loss because I was anticipating the market to retrace back up, but it auto liquidated me and sold my position. So to learn from that, what that means is if you want to get those big positions, what you're going to have to do is obviously put more money into DueDEX and leverage it smaller. So obviously the same thing would be like if you put $100 in and leveraged it 10 times versus putting $1,000 in and leveraging it 5 times. I think it would even out number wise. Or you get what I'm saying. So obviously, if you want to play around with bigger percentage, you have to put more in and then take advantage of the leverage. So what happened and what did I do? But you can see the trade history, which is right here, being as transparent as I can. You'll notice back here, where's today, that I bought at 7,875. I bought $732 worth, which is, and then it auto sold it all, and I ended up losing quite a bit. So like $80 worth. So now I have about $700 or $680 in the market right now. No, I have a little, I might have the same amount actually. So you can see what actually happened right here. So then I tried to buy back in, and I did buy back in. I opened an active order at 7,494. So I bought in at $7,494, which is practically all the way down here, which is good too because it got me in at a great position versus 7,800. I got in at 7,494, which is practically the lowest the coin went. The problem was because it was such a flash crash, it only closed about 50 orders, which you can see right here. We have a 3, 47, and then 4. These are the amount that I got at that position. So then what I decided to do was obviously I want to put a lot more money into that. So I wanted to do a 600. I wanted to put the rest of it in. Now, what I noticed at the time was I only did it about 5 times, only leveraged 5 times. I wanted to gamble a little bit, and I put 10 times when I put in the $7,600 order and $667 closed. So that's awesome. Those are the 2 positions. They were active orders, and then they finally became a position. So understand that an active order doesn't mean you have it. It's when it goes into a position doesn't mean you actually own what it is that you got involved in. So you can see right here, it averaged out what I did. So you can see I have a total of $721 invested into here, and I had about 780. So I think I only lost about $60 from that auto liquidation that DueDEX does. Be aware of that. But you can see this is my value, 0.098 of the Bitcoin. So to do the calculator, that is equivalent to 726 so far. And what I want to continue to discuss with you guys is what the possibilities are. So you can see my entry price, it averaged it out from the $50 I put in at 7,500 and the $650 I put in at 7,600. It rounded it out to 7,593. So my exact entry price is 7,593. And then you can see that I have a margin trade of 10 times. You can see the margin being used for your position with current leverage. You can add or remove margin by clicking on the amount. Changing leverage also changes position margin. So I 10 times it, not 25. I did 10 times. Now, I don't know if maybe if we shot up, it would have allowed me to stay in at the 25 times. Maybe it would have auto closed it and I would have made like $80. I don't know. But I decided to just do 10 times because I think it's smaller, and that won't happen again if I do decide to, if we do fall down a little bit lower. But otherwise, you can see the return on investment, 1.6, 1.8 right now, the unrealized Bitcoin that I earned. And then when you want to close your position, all you would have to do is click close. Obviously, there's no reason to do this right now because the market just started. And I thought I'd show you guys a cool calculator in regards to calculating kind of how much you would be making right now with leverage trading. So I have this thing called One Fox, which is pretty awesome. And I want to show you guys what it is that we're doing. So as you guys can see on DueDEX, we have about $721 of Bitcoin in there. So if we do 721, you'll notice I have about 0.095 of a Bitcoin involved in that. So it's as simple as taking that and putting that in the amount that we have, which is 0.095 of Bitcoin, and we leveraged it by 10. So type in 10, and then the entry price that we bought into the Bitcoin into the price was 75.93.80. So we're going to take that entry price, put the entry price in here, and now we can play around with the numbers. So you can see right now, DueDEX is currently at 76.03. You can see what I mean by that. We're currently at, where is it? 76.03, the price. Now we're at 75.98. But you get what I'm saying. So at 76.03, you can see I've only increased about 1.28%, and it's given me about 0.0012 of a Bitcoin. That's what I would earn if I closed. But now we were anticipating to see a bigger run on XRP, and Bitcoin, so whichever one you're involved in. But if you do DueDEX, you'd be using Bitcoin. Hopefully, eventually, they'll be adding other altcoins to the mix. But for right now, you'll notice we bottomed out right here. So let's just say we anticipate a run like we've seen in the past. A 37% run, right? 37% from where we are right now, we'd be at around $10,350. So let's say we hit 9,000. Let's just say we hit 9,000. So we had earned about 0.1485 of a Bitcoin. What does that mean in US dollars? Well, I'll tell you. That means that if we go back up to $9,000 from where we're at right now. So if Bitcoin right now from $7,600 goes to $9,000, it'll be earning me $1,132 profit. Now that's a conservative approach. You can see just from a small 30% boost that we would have right now within DueDEX, you can see on Bitcoin, a small 30% jump. Sorry, not even, it would be smaller. Going to 9,000 would merely be a 18% jump. And that is definitely very doable. That's merely going right back up to its high-low MMA. Moving up to a high-low MMA is something we do all the time. You can see right here. So a mere jump like this off of a $700 investment into DueDEX would profit me about $1,000, if not more, I think. It was $1,100. That's a huge profit off of $700 with the power of leverage trading. Now, take into consideration, we go higher. Let's say we go up to the 38% that we were expecting, 10,500. What does that mean to us? So if we go up to 10,500, we would have about 0.263 of a Bitcoin, which would equivalent to 0.2630. That's $2,000. So if we go back up 40%, I would make a little bit over $2,000 in Bitcoin, which is massive. It's huge to leverage trade this. It's obviously an awesome thing right there. Obviously, we could still go lower. There's a really good chance we could head lower. Honestly, the way I'm looking at this is every single time we've broken out in the past, we've shot even higher. So, who's to say we can't burst to $13,000? It's definitely very possible. And a $1,300 move going up to $13,000 is massive. 13,000 would give me 0.3951 of a Bitcoin, which is equivalent to 0.3951. That's $3,000 in Bitcoin. That's, off a $700 investment. That's what I'm saying. So for those of you who don't like investing massive amounts, you're only investing $700 and you're making $3,000 on 700. That's huge. Now, obviously, definitely make sure to get a DueDEX account right now. It's the first link in the description, I believe. It does help support the channel as well. Obviously, I wanted to update you guys on this because I think it's massive, and we are starting to correct right now. You can see most of the market is pretty much bottomed out. We hit the bottom right here. We hit the bottom. We're looking for this. This is what we're anticipating. This is what we want. We want this to happen. If this happens at a bigger interval or the same, we're going to make a shit ton of money. So we have to write it out. But everything looks and is going according to plan. We are now oversold in the daily, similar to where we were on the 4-hour. We were anticipating and waiting because every single bearish fractal has broken extremely bullish once it has hit oversold on the daily, and it's finally done that today. That which is huge. It's honestly huge. So we'll see how this pans out tomorrow. I know today's video is long, but I felt like this is jam-packed with a ton of information. Obviously, make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications. Giveaway is tomorrow. Make sure to comment #CryptoTV down below. And download DueDEX, sign up for my Patreon, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.